Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, boom, boom, boom!
What a mark.
Trying to think of something.
What?
No, nothing. Go ahead. Are we recording?
Yes, it's recording. It is recording.
All right.
Yeah, we're out here.
We're live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Accidental Wrestling Fan. Great way to support the podcast is to go to our Patreon page. I'm sure everybody knows about that. We've got a patreon.com/Podbros. There's different tiers. There's a TAWF tier. There's a promo spot tier and a favorite match tier for our prime TAWFers. Sean and my girlfriend still have yet to give me a promo, so I might just pick one for them and put it up on YouTube. Cause I think they might have just donated just to be nice and help us out. By the way, Sean needs to get his Skype together so he can be on the podcast soon. I talked to him yesterday briefly, not about the podcast, but just about life stuff. But I think he'll be back on the show soon. He's back in Michigan now, so
I need to set something up with Hansy.
Oh yeah, you do.
I always try, but cause he does a lot of Periscope stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll sometimes join his little Periscope thing and bullshit about wrestling with him. But yeah, I'll have to. I've talked to him about it. He says he's down. I can never catch him on Twitter, when we're recording and shit.
Yeah, that would be dope, man. I would really love that.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable in his shit.
Yeah, now that we've done a move towards doing everything with Skype, I feel like it'd be a great way to maybe get some more high-profile guests on the show. Not that we haven't had high-profile guests on the show. We've had a lot of great local talent, but I mean, we could talk to all kinds of people now since we have Skype. You know, we could reach out to Effie, the dude that's doing the big gay brunch, and there's the whole controversy about how he said that if there's anyone that says anything homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic at his big gay brunch, that they're gonna take him out on the fucking street and beat the shit out of him. Which I thought was awesome.
What promotion is that with? Is it GCW related?
I think it's GCW. I'm not sure. I would have to look that up.
I've seen there's a wrestler on there, Razor Ramon Hard Gay?
Yes.
I don't get it though.
Razor Ramon Hard Gay. I have not seen videos. I don't know where the hard gay comes from.
So it's like a all gay lesbian promotion.
I'm not sure.
I've seen a lot of.
Effie is gay. I'm sure everybody knows that. It is a GCW show.
It's happening during WrestleMania weekend, I think.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a. Yeah, Effie is going to make Mania week gayer. And there's no matchups. Isn't there? Didn't he release people that were going to be on there?
Yeah, a bunch. I remember seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter.
Why is it not on there? Oh, okay. Yeah, so Effie's Big Gay Brunch, the Bi-Curious Battle Royal, Arian Andrew versus Jamie Senegal. That's Cameron, if anyone doesn't know.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
A live customs match, Sexy Eddie and Joey Ryan. Oh, man. Razor Ramon Hargay will be there. Yeah, there's a lot. There's going to be a dog there named Cranberry. Sonny Kiss is going to be there. So I don't think it's like entirely exclusive to um LGBTQA wrestlers. I think it's just pretty much anyone that they could get to be on the show will be on there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of exoticos,
Alley, is that Alley Cat?
Alley Cats there, Razor Moharke.
I need to
Yeah,
check some of his stuff out.
yeah. I've never actually watched an FE match, but I've
No, me
seen
either.
some of the stuff that people have posted of his podcast and things like that on Twitter. And he's a pretty funny guy, and he seems like he's got his head on straight when it comes to like the business aspect of pro wrestling. Is pretty cool to see. I know he made some comments when David Starr spoke out against Gabe Sapolsky in regard to wrestler pay at Evolve shows, and yeah, that he seems like he's got his head screwed on straight. No pun intended, I guess.
Did you see any of the Joey Janela spring break matches announced?
um, doesn't
Dude, have you heard any of them?
no, I'll pull it up right now.
Dude, Minoru Suzuki is versing Orange Cassidy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Alex Shelley versus Tony Deppen? Holy shit.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Express got announced. I'm trying to. Will Ospreay is gonna be there. So I gotta try to find the match listing here. Why is it?
I think that might be the only two he announced.
But there's just people there that were announced for the show.
I think so. Maybe there's more. I don't know.
Let's click on Will Ospreay. Yeah, it's part of the collective weekend. Yeah, it's just Will Ospreay.
You gotta go Ospreay versus Janela, right?
Yeah, that would be a fucking wild match, man. I like they're calling it Spring Break Forever.
What do you think about? I don't know if we've discussed him on previous episodes, and we might have Orange Cassidy.
So
I think we have.
I think we have, but for me,
Can he go in the ring?
Yes,
He can go.
He absolutely can. Anyone that's in the know knows that he was under a more serious gimmick many years ago, and he can go 100%. Even as Orange Cassidy, he's had matches that are serious matches, more straightforward matches. I love the concept of a guy who's clearly very good. He's clearly in great shape. He obviously works hard. He's just lazy as fuck. I love that character.
I'm kind of. I mean, I've never watched a match where he, goes. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
I've seen is the hands in the pockets. I seen him and Brian Alvarez, who for some reason I can't stand that dude. But he had a match with Brian Alvarez, who wrestles.
Brian Alvarez is a trained wrestler. There's a match. He wrestled Jungle Boy.
But they're like slow burning the whole Orange Cassidy thing so much.
Trying to see if there's any of his more serious matches. If you go to the Beyond Wrestling YouTube channel, there's a match with David Starr, and the thumbnail's Orange Cassidy's face just completely busted to shit.
Oh.
The matches, from what I've seen, his more serious matches kind of start out a little comedic, and then they kind of build up to being
he's
more aggressive.
He's definitely very over in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, he's unbelievably over. I feel like as he continues to be over, they may push his character to be a little bit more serious, because like I said, he's clearly really talented. Like you can't put your hands in your pockets and drop kick people and then kip up no-handed and not be in like great shape, be a great wrestler.
Yeah, for sure. I get all that, but I'm kind of like an old school cat in a way when it comes to my wrestling, and I want to see work.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it, I understand it. It's a. I'm not trying to sound like Jim Cornette or anything, but the wrestling world has changed, and I get it
He found his honky tonk man gimmick,
for
as
sure. I get,
Colt
yeah,
Cabana would
absolutely.
say. He like I said was under a gimmick before that was really serious and had a lot of hard hitting matches, and I think that he found his other alternate gimmick where he doesn't have to get suplexed on his head or take reverse ranas off the top rope. But I would like to see him be just like a little bit more serious. He can still be the same dude at his core, his same character. I think he's really talented, and I want him to be a more serious character, and I want to see him have important matches. I think he's really good. Like I said, I've been a fan of his for a while, so. But
Sorry,
yeah,
I was taking a drink of water. Yeah, I
how could
definitely.
you?
I'm sorry. I'll
Fucking
spit it
drinking
out like
water on this
Triple H.
podcast. Piece of shit. I can't believe
Um,
you.
yeah, I would. I want to see what he can do. I'll have to maybe watch a match later tonight.
Yeah, check it out. I'll send you the link to the David Starr match from
Yeah, for
Beyond
sure.
Wrestling. So, what else do we want to talk about? I know you sent me the link to WrestleMania 36. It's a lot of major changes, alleged changes that are going to be happening to the card. So I guess spoilers
Spoiler,
inbound.
yeah.
But one thing
Spoiler alert.
that I want to talk about right now today is February 23rd. We're in the last week here of Black History Month, and I wanted to kind of address that and talk about that. I realized that I hadn't discussed Black History Month that really at all this month. And I guess there's a little story that I wanted to tell everyone on the podcast. Kaz kind of knows about it.
That's
Uh,
why I laughed. I wasn't laughing at Black History Month, by the way. I laughed because I know what you're about to say.
so I mean, if you don't know, I'm black and
Really?
I love pro wrestling. Yes, yes, I love pro wrestling. And I think inclusion in pro wrestling in any form of medium is very important, especially for young kids. I feel like they need to be able to see people that kind of look like them to, give them hope or give them someone to cheer for. You
For
know,
sure.
there's a lot of wrestlers that I like. They're really cool. Like I thought Bret Hart was the coolest wrestler ever, but Bret Hart is a 6'2" white dude from Canada. I don't have a lot of common with him.
Like as a black man, you know, loving wrestling the way you did, who was your guy?
So when I was a kid, like real young, the first guys that I really started gravitating towards was like Ultimate Warrior because he had the colorful outfits. Bret Hart because I thought he looked cool. I
Was
like the
there a
British.
black wrestler though that you
Uh,
were
yeah, actually,
like you said, looking for like, oh man,
Ron Simmons
Ron
was
Simmons. Okay.
that was the guy because when I was about 3 or 4 years old, he won the heavyweight championship from Vader, and I remember the kid that runs down from his seat to the front and starts jumping up and down
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crazy. It's an awesome moment. We've talked about it on the podcast before, and I always thought Ron Simmons was really cool. Just seeing like a strong black character like that. It was a dude who was tough, and the crowd liked him and yeah, he's just a genuine badass. But then he wasn't the champion for that long, and he kind of got sent back down to the mid card, and honestly, really didn't do a lot in WCW after he won the title. And
Yeah, you got to think, he was the champion in WCW,
mhm.
you know. Was he kind of the first black wrestler to accomplish such a feat?
Ron Simmons is recognized as the first black
Yeah.
heavyweight champion, which is
I mean,
insane
you guys
because
you got guys like you know, Ernie Ladd, Coco Beware, Rocky Johnson,
Butch Reed.
Butch Reed,
Junkyard Dog,
Junkyard Dog.
Iceman, King Parsons. You had a lot of talented
But
black
Ron
guys.
Simmons was that first guy to hold the main strap.
Yeah, and he was the only for a long time. The only, I guess, until The Rock. But then that's complicated because
They didn't bill him as that.
they don't really ever recognize The Rock as being a black guy. And then The Rock doesn't really seem to recognize himself as being a black guy.
No, not really.
It's very confusing. It was always very weird because, like I said, inclusion is important. And I, as a kid, cheered for The Rock because I knew that he was mixed. He was black and Samoan. So I always cheered for him. And, even though he's almost always billed as more being Samoan, being the grandson of Peter Maivia, like, let's be honest, when he was the top dude, they tried to present him like a cool black guy. Like, let's call a spade here. Wait, that's a bad term. I shouldn't use that.
What are you, Irish?
But yeah, the Rock's racial identity was always kind of weird because, like I said, WWE and The Rock himself never really kind of touch on his roots other than that his dad was Rocky Johnson. But
there's that Samoan thing with wrestling.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think, and I hate to say this, how little the black wrestler athlete, there's not very many.
Yeah,
compared to white guys. You know what I mean? I can go on for days and tell you how many great white guy wrestlers there are. And I'm not saying there's not many great black wrestlers. I'm saying like that were put on the pedestal and made into superstars.
Right. And then
not many.
When I was a little kid and, getting into my teenage years and really starting to form my own opinion about the world, start to notice that all of the black dudes
up.
Yeah. All of the black dudes that I thought were cool or that I root for, they never won the title. Like I said, for a long time, it was only Ron Simmons and The Rock. And then
got Booker T
in the early 2000s. Yeah, he was
we could probably name
WCW champion.
You got Mark Henry.
And then, do we count the ECW title or Impact titles and stuff like that? If we do, you can throw Bobby Lashley in there.
I would throw Bobby Lashley in there. Kofi.
Yeah, it will be Kofi.
Okay, that's what, 5?
Yeah, so we got Ron Simmons, The Rock, Booker T, Mark Henry, Bobby Lashley, Kofi Kingston, Jay Lethal, if you want to throw the Ring of Honor title in there. Ron Killings. Come on, man, you buried the lead. I was building up to it. No, we could get there, but there wasn't a lot of black guys I root for. Like I said, there's black guys I rooted for that they were cool, but they always like smiley athletic guys or cocky asshole heels or, just complete caricatures of what a black athlete was supposed to be.
Was King Mabel the champ?
No, he was
never was the champ.
No, he was never. But Shelton Benjamin I thought was sweet, but he was only ever a mid-card champion anywhere that he went, or a tag team guy. A lot of them were tag team guys. And then, in the early 2000s, I started getting into high school and started watching more independent wrestling. I started watching a lot of Ring of Honor. One of the cool things about Ring of Honor, and people probably don't really think about this because there wasn't a lot of attention paid to it or light shown on it, but you go back to, especially to the early stages of Ring of Honor, there were a lot of people of color that were very popular and on top. You had Xavier was their champion, Low Ki was their champion, Homicide was a top guy. There was Danny Moff, who was a top guy in a tag team with the Prophecy. You had Jay Lethal was coming up, and Special K, who was known as Hydro. You had Samoa Joe, Paul London, who's Mexican, was one of the most popular guys in the company. And then poor 14-year-old Damon started rooting for these two dudes who look mixed as shit. These guys from Delaware, they're a tag team. Their names are Mark and Jamin. You may know them as Mark and Jay Briscoe. I thought they were mixed, and part of the reason why I started kind of rooting for them is because I thought they were black dudes for a long time. I thought
How
the Briscoe
long did you
brothers
think
were
that?
black.
They're just white guys, right?
Yeah, but I showed a picture of them to my girlfriend. I asked her, what ethnicity do you think these guys are? And she was like, she thought maybe white or Mexican. Or she says maybe Armenian. I think they're just white dudes from Delaware.
Yeah. Who said Armenian? Your girlfriend? Paige
She
did?
thought they looked.
They do
maybe
look
Armenian.
like that. That's what they look like.
So, I'm thinking for a long time that these guys are mixed. I mean, the fucking names are Mark and Jamin. Of course, I thought they were mixed. They would come out in Blazers hoodies. Their theme song was The Cross by Nas. Of course, I thought these guys were black dudes. They sounded like black dudes. Like, I just thought they were black dudes for the longest time. And then around the third year of Ring of Honor, they left for a little bit. They had a little bit of a hiatus. And then they came back in 2006 for the 4th anniversary show. And, they look great. They changed their gear up. They, come out to a Leonard Skinner song, Give Me Back My Bullets. And then I started to notice that these dudes were repping the stars and bars like fucking crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, what black dudes would fucking rep the stars and bars, dude? That doesn't make any sense. But bro, look at this picture of Jay Briscoe. Like, he looks like a mixed dude, but he's got a fucking Confederate flag hoodie on. And I was
that would be a great gimmick.
Yeah, but bro, I mean, look at how he looks in some of these pictures. Look how they look in some of these pictures.
Yeah,
could you fault me for thinking that they were mixed?
No, not at all.
Yeah, and then obviously, as time went on, and then I'll show you a picture of Papa Briscoe, their dad, who has wrestled in Ring of Honor before.
I'll be honest, with the Briscoe brothers, I thought they were related to Gerald Briscoe, Gerald and Jack.
So my brother used to play a game called, I think, Extreme Warfare Revenge, which is like one of those like wrestling type strategy games where you're a booker. I thought they were related to Gerald and Jack as well, because my brother like pushed them, and in the game they would be, they would get really popular as a tag team. So the Briscoes I know are Native American, so I thought maybe there was some relation there, but then I realized that the Briscoe brothers, Gerald and Jack, have just an O. Mark and Jay have an E at the end of their name. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is their dad.
Did he wrestle?
He wrestled a couple shows in Ring of Honor. But yeah, like their dad is just a straight up white dude.
Now, were you sad when you found out they weren't black in any way, shape, or form?
I wasn't sad. I was just, like I said,
bummed out?
I was confused. I was very confused because, like I said, I thought these guys were mixed, and it made me really root for them because like I said before at the start of all this, inclusion is important, and I thought it was cool that there was two. Like I said, I assumed African American / mixed race dudes who were deemed as very important characters in Ring of Honor. They were treated with respect as a tag team. They weren't jokes. They weren't thugs. They weren't, they weren't presented as a shitty stereotype of a lot of other black wrestlers. They weren't always like these super angry, cocky dudes or whatever. They just weren't dudes who happened to be athletic and smiled a fucking bunch. They were just serious competitors, and they were treated like top draws. And that's what really gravitated me towards that. And then I just found out that they're just tan redneck dudes from Delaware.
They're white dudes from Taylor.
Yep.
That's them. That's their gimmick.
Yep. So instead of me thinking that they were mixed dudes from, Delaware, I just looked at them as a couple of homeboys that I grew up with back in Ecorse. So yeah, that's that. I thought the Briscoe brothers were black.
Yeah. I wish the Briscoe brothers would come to NXT. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't know what there is to do or what there is for them to do in Ring of Honor. They're 11-time tag team champions. They just lost the tag titles at Final Battle to the second black tag team champions in Ring of Honor history. That's a joke about the Briscoe brothers being black. Lethal and Gresham.
Yeah, what's up with Gresham's gimmick now?
Yeah, so his nickname has always been the Octopus, and
He's
he
like
wears
Cthulhu or something.
Well, his finishing move is I think the Octopus Hold. And he's like the master of it, and he's known for his submissions. And I think with them bringing back the Pure Wrestling title, I think they're probably going to try to put the belt on him or maybe Mark Haskins. Yeah. And I think they're trying to kind of hype Gresham up as the new kind of submission threat in Ring of Honor, because they've always had that guy over the years who was known for his deadly submission holds. They had Bryan Danielson, they had Samoa Joe. These guys that were known for just destroying people with all kinds of different submissions. You never know how they were gonna hook your brother.
I like where his gimmick's going.
Yeah, he's starting to show more personality.
Yeah,
he's starting to be more aggressive and arrogant. I really like the Lethal and Gresham tag team. I thought that match that they had with the Briscoes at Ring of Honor Final Battle was a really good match. It was very old school. And yeah, it's cool that after, 18 years now of Ring of Honor, they have their first black tag team champions. They've had guys who were black that were tag team champions or one half the tag champs. But if my memory serves, they're the first all black tag team champions of Ring of Honor. So that's a little black history tidbit for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's talk about this WrestleMania card, though, man. I know you sent me a link for it, and Meltzer's reporting a lot of changes on the SmackDown side, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. According to Meltzer, there's supposed to be, was it Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, but now it could be Roman versus Goldberg.
Which I actually was wanting, to be honest. I'd rather have that. I'd rather have Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for the title.
But then you get yourself into a situation, Kaz, and maybe you can explain how this goes down. How do you have a guy in Goldberg who hasn't wrestled in a couple of years, and before that hadn't wrestled for over a decade? How do you have this guy beat this character who's presented as this monster, as this destroyer, a guy that Daniel Bryan couldn't beat, The Miz couldn't beat, Seth Rollins couldn't beat? Seth Rollins hit him with his finisher, over 10 times and couldn't keep him down. How do you present this dude that has 4 or 5 moves just beating a supernatural character like Bray Wyatt?
Because of the spear. Did you read that? They want to have Goldberg and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in a spear versus spear match.
So what's a spear versus spear match? Like,
I don't know.
The first person hit the spear wins?
I think that's my guess.
Please tell me they're gonna do a spot where they both go for the spear and then they go helmet
to helmet. Or is that just gonna be how they book it? They both have the spear, but then Edge uses a spear and he's gonna be on the card.
And Bobby Lashley uses a spear. And Charlotte Flair uses a spear.
Personally, I don't know how you do it. Goldberg is Goldberg. He's over with the crowd. What's going to get more attention to you? Roman Reigns versus Bray or Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania?
More attention for me or more attention for casual viewers?
Casual viewers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's Roman Reigns versus Goldberg.
Well, what match do you want to see more?
None of them, honestly.
I mean, I think Roman versus Goldberg could work. I think the build-up could be pretty good. It just are they really gonna put the title back on Goldberg? Because they would
Yeah,
have to, because he would have to beat Bray at Super Showdown. And then that's kind of, I don't know. Is the Bray character kind of losing steam a little bit? Is that what WWE or Vince is thinking, or?
I mean, it could be that. It also could just be the fact that, they could see some real dollar signs and having Roman Reigns having his fucking 10th passing of the torch moment and beating the ancient Goldberg in a
And I
spear versus spear match.
I think that's the main catalyst. I think that's what it is.
Why
That's
do
gonna.
they keep wanting to give Roman this fucking like
I don't know.
coronation moment? They've already done it a million times. He's what, like a 4-time world champion? Dude, just put him in a compelling feud and a compelling match and just do that. Don't make him fight Baron Corbin for 6 months straight. Don't make him be another old guy at WrestleMania to try to put him over as a top guy again. Put him against another good top guy and then make the match compelling.
I agree with you, but I also just see it the other way. I honestly wouldn't hate seeing Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Honestly.
I mean, the match will be fun. Yes, it will be
That's
an
what from
exciting
a
match.
yeah, from a match standpoint, I think those two could put on a good match.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It'd be a fun match. It'd probably be very short, but I also just
But I also think the build-up would be more interesting. And I hate to say this because I love Bray, but every feud Bray's been in, the build-up has been the same. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Here's a guy who he torments, and there's the Firefly Funhouse. And I get it, that's his character, that's what he does, but that starts to get a little stale after a while. They haven't really attempted to throw something new into it. It's always the same thing.
yeah, I would have really liked possibly someone venturing into Bray's dimension and maybe just trying to find ways to maybe weaken the Fiend, maybe go and
Well,
destroy the firehouse, blah blah blah.
do you
I
see who they want Bray to verse?
I no, I
Scroll on down. What
they
do you think
want
about that?
Bray Wyatt versus John Cena, a rematch of WrestleMania 30.
What's your take on that?
Uh,
You don't sound too thrilled.
no, I'm not super thrilled about it. Not that because, it's not because I don't like John or Bray. It's just that they've already done this feud before, and I know Bray's kind of a part of his character now as the Fiend is trying to get revenge on people that wrong him, and along the way, there's people that kind of raise his ire, and he targets them too, like Goldberg and the Miz.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not excited for John Cena to do a fucking yelly promo about how he's gonna use hustle, loyalty, and respect to battle the Fiend at WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Super Showdown is this Thursday. John Cena returns the next night on SmackDown. So we'll see. Look at this card right now. This
yeah.
is what Meltzer's reporting is apparently going to be the WrestleMania card.
So let's do it from top to bottom here. Um, we've got McIntyre. Why does it have McIntyre as C for WWE champion? That's fun.
I don't know. This
That's fun.
site kind of botches shit sometimes.
Yeah, and then McIntyre versus Brock. Excited for that one.
Absolutely.
The beef is back on the menu, baby. Big boys, slapping meat. Roman versus Goldberg for the Universal Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. I still don't know how I feel about that match.
Yeah, me either.
It's a very odd match. Yeah, man. Now I would be very cool if they found a way to get Bianca Belair into that and make it a triple threat and have Bianca win the NXT title that way.
Yeah, I would totally. I wish it was Bianca. I don't know if we discussed it on a podcast. I think Rhea's good, but I don't think she's great. I mean, I know she's getting this mega push and she's over, and I get it, but I don't know. Bianca Belair to me is a way better wrestler than Rhea Ripley in my take, and way more charismatic.
I think, yeah, Bianca might be a little bit more of what they're looking for, WWE, because I think she's been in the NXT system a little longer than Rhea has. I think
the contrast
I think
between
they have like the same level of experience. That and Rhea Ripley's only 23 years old, man. Like they got a ton of time to really develop her. So that's why I'm not really too thrilled about kind of like the rookie year storyline that I talked about on the podcast before, having someone from NXT kind of come up and do big shit while they're still an NXT champion. I don't know if that's a good thing for someone so young to do it so early in their career, because I don't want them to feel like they, peak at 30. Rhea Ripley's a 7-time women's champion by the time she's 26 years old. Like, what do you do with her at that point,
Yeah, I agree. We could take this back to the Black History conversation we had. Name all the, black women that have been prominent in wrestling throughout the years.
I can't really speak back towards like the 80s, but I know it was like Jacqueline, Jazz. You got now like Naomi. Sasha Banks is mixed. I'm really trying to think here, man. Awesome Kong.
Nia Jax, did you say that?
She's Samoan, I believe. I don't know if she's black, but oh wow, it starts to get worse really when you start talking about the women. I feel like.
Yeah, and that's not even the argument I'm trying
Layla,
to make.
Alicia Fox. They've all been champions anyway. I would never really
Bianca
necessarily.
Belair's character would be way more interesting going up against Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean the
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte are kind of sort of the same in a way.
That was actually something that they brought up a lot when Rhea Ripley, before she became like the fucking Hot Topic metal girl.
Yeah.
Because she was like a super bubbly, like platinum blonde. Here, I'll show you what she.
Rhea Ripley's gimmick basically is I'm the cream of the crop, and that's Charlotte's gimmick.
Yeah, she was compared to Charlotte a lot, especially when she first started. I mean, look at that. Look how she looked when she first started, and this is when she was like 19. And then between Mae Young Classics, she completely changed her gimmick up to look more, how she looks now.
You metal.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see right here in this picture how she's changed how she looked. And she changed like her physique a lot too, to really stand out and not just be another bubbly blonde girl who's athletic and got tons of energy.
Toni
blah, blah, blah.
Storm is way better than her.
I would say that Tony's better than Rhea. I mean, Tony's more experienced. Tony's been in a lot of high profile matches for like Progress and Mae Young Classic matches, NXT matches.
I don't know. They just gave Rhea the mega push. I mean, astronomical. And I think there's other girls on, especially the NXT roster. I mean, with Bianca Belair, Io Shirai. Io Shirai's fucking over as hell.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, Rhea Ripley's white.
I was gonna say she ticks the boxes, dude. She is athletic, blonde, with a good body, and she's a solid promo. The boxes are ticked. And she's young and she's probably super coachable. So they love that. They probably love the fact that, that she's probably willing to learn and do anything that they say. So they're probably huge fans of that. And that's not to knock her. She worked hard and she absolutely deserves to be in this because she's done everything that has been asked of her. She's risen to the occasion. She's over the crowd.
She deserves to be in the main event at WrestleMania with Charlotte. Not main event, but
a high profile match.
She deserves it more than Bianca? I don't think so.
Yeah. But like I said, we'll see how it all plays out. Wednesday.
It could change.
Yeah, Charlotte and Bianca are wrestling on NXT Wednesday.
A triple threat match would be sweet.
Yeah, I think they should go for a triple threat match. It looks like there's not a triple threat match, which is rare because WrestleMania is known to be fucking just rife with multi-person matches. It's like unbelievable how many multi-person matches they have. But as this rumored card stands, there's all just like straight up one-on-one matches. I think the move is Bianca wins the title at WrestleMania. She pins Rhea. So
Bianca?
Yeah, do a triple threat.
Yeah,
Bianca pins Rhea, so you can get Rhea the title off Rhea. Bianca can win the NXT Championship in a high profile situation. Charlotte doesn't have to take the loss, so you don't have to worry about the Royal Rumble winner really losing again because they've had quite a few Royal Rumble winners lose at WrestleMania, and I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, you had your first women's Royal Rumble winner fucking get tapped out in the very first time that a woman Royal Rumble winner challenged at WrestleMania, which I didn't understand. And then Becky won last year. So, I mean, signs point to Charlotte winning. But then what do you do if Charlotte wins at WrestleMania? You're really going to have Charlotte running around NXT?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I'm not really excited to have Charlotte Flair running around NXT and big booting these chicks for, however long they decide to keep the belt on her.
I mean, your booking works perfect. If it's a triple threat match, Bianca pins Rhea, wins the title. You can have, Charlotte doesn't look bad, but you can have Rhea move up to the main roster.
Then you can have Rhea go after maybe the SmackDown title.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with the Raw title. I mean, does Becky just go coast to coast with the belt and just beat Shayna at WrestleMania?
I hope not. I hope they put it on Shayna. But even that's being booked stupid as fuck.
Shayna bit Becky Lynch's fucking neck out. And then, like, the next week...
No. She bit her neck. Becky sold it very well in the ring. I'm fucked up, what's good, blah, blah, blah. Then she goes into the back, steals an ambulance, drives herself to the hospital.
Why did she need to steal the ambulance to drive herself to the hospital?
I have no idea. Gets
that
treated.
Makes no sense.
Drives back to the arena, gets back into the ring, and cuts a promo. That took all the heat off of Shayna. All the heat.
Shayna should have bit her neck and did everything she needed to do. Becky shouldn't have been on TV for a while.
I agree. Becky should have been fucked up.
I think they should have had it where her confidence might have been a little shaken. Like, she's the man, and then she had this horrible attack happen to her that, like, no one saw coming. Shayna Baszler tried to kill her, basically, bite her neck out. And she immediately was just like, Shayna, you fucking vampire bitch, I'm gonna get you. Like, okay, cool, dude.
The whole Becky being booked like Stone Cold is getting very old.
Yeah, I know they're trying to make her kind of more cocky again. She has the jacket with the side plates of everyone that she beat when she was champion, all the champions that she's beat before, like Natalia, Charlotte, blah blah blah. And then she has like the deal with it sunglasses that she was wearing. I don't know what to do with her at this point. Are they just trying to keep her warm until they can get Ronda back?
That's my guess. I mean, maybe Ronda comes back at Mania and costs Becky the title somehow.
I could see them doing that.
Becky or Shayna wins the title and Ronda like celebrates with her or whatever, however they do it. But
yeah, I guess you just do Becky and Ronda as kind of like a blood feud.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I could dig that.
I don't. It's really weird that Shayna is going for the Raw Women's Championship, and then if Ronda does come back this year, how do they handle that dynamic?
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
One thing I want to touch on real quick is the SmackDown Women's Championship picture.
Who cares?
Bayley.
Is there one?
Bayley has been the champion for a long time.
Yeah. She isn't. I don't know, man. Bayley as a heel just does not do it for me.
Is she supposed to be Cleopatra?
I don't know.
She has a
I
really
look at like how Dakota Kai turned heel in NXT. That to me is a tremendous heel turn. Dakota Kai did great. I don't know why I kind of compare Bayley and Dakota Kai in a way because they kind of both turned heel and they were both like goody two shoes types of gimmicks.
Yeah, they have been presented that way in NXT, and then with obviously Bayley on the main roster for years.
Heel turn hasn't been good at all.
I mean, the start of it was good. I mean, people have been clamoring for it. Someone who wasn't going to take any shit. But then, like I said, she said she's tired of being a role model. I think that's kind of like one of the big things that she's pushing for. And now she's like all smug and cocky. But it's like, did this confidence just magically brew because she just turned evil?
Yeah, I guess. Because of Sasha or something. I don't know. If they're going to book it, they got to book it Bayley versus Sasha.
But then can you set up Sasha versus Bayley now in February? WrestleMania is in early April. You're going to be able to set that up in 4 weeks?
I mean, when is Elimination Chamber?
Elimination Chamber is it the Sunday after next? Of course, so. I just typed fucking elimination. Or if you're in
2020.
If you're in Germany, March 8th. So it's the Sunday after so 2 Sundays from now.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, it's No Escape in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh, is that still what it is?
Yeah, it's still No Escape in Germany. You can't call it the Elimination Chamber there. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Lacey Evans. She's got to
be kind of in the mix.
Sheamus, according to this, he's eyeing an opportunity to get into the Elimination Chamber. So I guess whoever wins the Elimination Chamber will challenge Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Or Goldberg. We got to see how Super Showdown plays out.
Have they actually announced who's going to be in the chamber matches? Because according to CBS Sports, According to CBS Sports, there is going to be 3 chamber matches. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, 3 chamber matches is a lot.
I think they announced the women's.
So Natalya, yeah, they did. Natalya versus Liv versus Shayna versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan. Oh yeah, that's right. They have to have 2 because Charlotte is going to face Rhea for the NXT championship.
Yeah.
And then Sheamus is announced for the SmackDown Men's Elimination Chamber.
So they're doing 2 women's ones. That's kind of overkill, man. 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 is overkill. I mean, 2 is already overkill.
2 is, pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is fine enough.
Yeah.
And then Lacey Evans is in the SmackDown Women's Elimination Chamber. Yeah, I mean, I love Elimination Chamber matches. Like I said, I'm not super excited for 3 of them. I mean,
No.
they're automatically long matches by the nature of them because it's every 5 minutes someone comes in. So, you got 2 guys that start, and then you have 4 other people in the pods. So it's
they're
at least
30 plus
20-minute
minute matches.
Yeah, it's 3 of us. This is 90 minutes of Elimination Chamber. Why do they do this to us, man?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. That's a lot.
What else is on the WrestleMania card?
Edge and Randy Orton, which should be good.
Yeah, I mean, I've liked the build-up thus far. It's kind of a cliche build-up.
Yeah, it's cliche, but it should be good. And then Randy is a safe dude, and I know they can have a good match. Where
it's the match I'm most looking forward to on the card. If this is the card,
what do you do with Edge after he presumably beats Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Does he go for a belt?
Yeah, I think he got to, right? Drew Edge?
Drew Edge at the like Money in the Bank or something?
But that's the thing. I want Drew to hold that belt for a while.
Yeah, he needs to be established. So, I mean, I could conceivably see Drew losing somehow, that would cripple him if he loses the Brock.
Oh, yeah, that's a wrap.
His momentum, he's dead if he loses the Brock. I feel like this is a must win for him.
Absolutely.
Because then he's just a fucking another geek who can't beat Brock. After months of building him up, he's got the 3-2-1 thing over. The crowd likes him.
Yeah, I mean, he's very much over right now. If he loses, like you said, that would be devastating.
Yeah, like I said, he would look like a fucking dork if he loses to Brock.
I agree.
But yeah, Edge still lurking in the shadows. Do they have Drew kind of drop the belt quickly to Edge? That would be detrimental to Drew as well, I believe. Although I know the crowd would fucking love an Edge title run.
They would. They totally would.
They would eat that up.
Maybe they somehow do another draft soon. He gets moved over to SmackDown.
I could see that happening. Some kind of shake up, but I don't know if there's any sort of issues with Fox in USA. If they did some kind of shake up, if they'd be weird about that. But Edge title run, like a nostalgia title run, him kind of trying to desperately turn back the clock would be fun. But
I want heel Edge though.
Yeah, he could. I don't think he could do like the Valiant fighting babyface thing. I don't think that would work for very long because he's fucking Edge. He's one of the most despicable characters in the history of wrestling.
That would be cool to see. It would be cool. It would be pretty cool to see like a heel Edge title run again.
Or maybe he wins it as a Valiant babyface, and then he realizes that he's old and compromised and starts to kind of revert back to the asshole edge because
Yeah, that'd be cool.
he's desperate to keep the belt because he knows he can't really necessarily do it the honorable way because he's, like almost 50.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. I really hope that doesn't happen. I think you said it best that you'd rather AJ get left off WrestleMania than wrestle Undertaker. I don't understand how they set that match up. I don't understand how they make that
kind of
match.
set it up is the scary thing.
How do they do that?
I think last week on Raw, AJ cut some promo about something about WrestleMania, and I forget what he said exactly, but I remember it as, "Oh my God, they're really gonna do this." It was something about WrestleMania and being like, maybe you can find it.
Yeah, I could probably find it. Man,
Try to find it real quick. I'm gonna take a whiz.
Okay, I could find
I
that.
think
All
that's
right.
it right there.
Yep, this one.
Yep, that's it.
All right, let's play it. Welcome back.
Hello.
So they called him the new Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, if he's calling himself Mr. WrestleMania, that sounds like
Give
they're
me
setting up.
Sean.
Yeah, I fucking rather would see that than the Undertaker. Him versus the Undertaker makes no sense. I don't
No
understand
sense.
if him calling himself Mr. WrestleMania sounds very much like a call out of Shawn Michaels.
Dude, AJ Styles versus The Undertaker is going to be horrible.
They just like they don't mix. Like their styles don't mix at all.
It doesn't mix, and it, like you said, it makes absolutely no sense. They've
Which
never crossed paths. You can't book it like AJ was a top guy in TNA or so, you know what I mean?
yeah. Of course, this is a far
Michaels
cry.
AJ makes a whole lot of sense.
It does. Kaz, this is kind of crazy though, because this is a far cry from a couple years ago when I fantasy booked how we get Undertaker versus Cena, where I booked Taker beats AJ in Texas at Royal Rumble, and then Cena I think won the Rumble somehow, and then they did Cena versus Taker for the belt, and Cena beats Taker at Mania to break Ric Flair's record.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I was like, wow, that really did involve AJ Styles Undertaker match.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I guess it's just because at this point, seeing how Undertaker has performed over the last couple years, I'm not very excited for Undertaker versus AJ Styles. I feel like it's a waste of AJ.
For sure.
I mean, I feel like the Undertaker could probably do something else.
I mean, the rumor that I've read going around is that Sting has been cleared to wrestle again. I don't know if that's 100% true, but if it is, why the fuck not just make Taker versus Sting? Make it happen. Give the fans what we've always wanted to see. It might be, too late down the road at this point, and I'm sure it probably is, but who cares? How sweet would it be to see Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania?
Or at least some kind of interaction.
Even I think Sting has actually even said that. I would just like to have some sort of interaction with the Undertaker.
Like, yeah, like maybe like
I think those two could put on a decent quality match.
yeah, because you could do a lot of smoke and mirrors stuff to get
For
them
sure.
to just hit their big moves, and then Taker chokeslam, tombstone, game over. I feel like that match would lend itself better
The
to
build up.
yeah. And then Undertaker versus AJ is like Undertaker's coming for AJ because he's called himself Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah, that makes no
What's the
sense.
setup? What's the setup? The last guy that called himself Mr. WrestleMania, I retired.
Yeah, that's what it is, dude. You just fucking booked it. That's exactly how it's gonna play out.
And then it's like, who gives a fuck, dude? Like, you're that butthurt
The
that someone
last
called
time someone called themselves Mr. WrestleMania, I retired them.
but you didn't do a good enough job because he came back and whipped your ass at a fucking Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, Mark. So good
Yeah.
job, bud.
Man, if
I,
they can somehow, oh no, go ahead.
I am not excited for the match. No
No,
matter what they try to do to build it up, it's gonna suck. I haven't really been excited for any Undertaker matches over the last few years.
you know,
I
I'll give, not to cut you off, the Roman Reigns Undertaker versus Drew McIntyre and who was it? Will you look that up real quick?
what year is it?
No, I think it was last year. Taker, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre and someone else. It was
Was
a
it a
tag
tag match
match. It was super good. It was the best Undertaker has looked in years, and the match was very good.
versus Drew McIntyre and Shane McMahon?
Yeah, that's it. It was a really good match.
Oh yeah. Was that on Extreme Rules?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember now only because I had to look it up on Google to have my memory jogged.
He looked great. Granted, it was a tag match and he could be protected, but it was a good match.
Yeah, and I
It
remember.
opened up the pay-per-view, I remember.
Yeah,
It's the
I
first
remember it
match.
now, and I'm thinking to myself, it seemed like they were gonna build up maybe Drew versus Undertaker at some point.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, so
But yeah, I mean, I hope plans change. I hope we're just getting swerved with a lot of this WrestleMania card, even though probably not. It all looks pretty legit.
yeah, I would not be shocked if this is pretty close to what we got. I'm sure there'll probably be a few changes, maybe some gimmick matches. Um, the women's tag match will probably turn into a multi-team match, and then the
Yeah.
battle royals don't matter at all. The battle royals, I really have never mattered.
No, I think they're pretty whatever, gimmicky. I had mentioned something that it would be it would be cool to have a tag match actually headline WrestleMania one year. I think the perfect time would be now to have like a New Day Usos main event match at WrestleMania. What
Yeah,
do you think, brother?
um, Usos New Day. That would be an awesome match. I don't know if we'll ever see a tag team match main event WrestleMania because I mean Vince isn't a big time tag teaming guy, but
Yeah.
I feel like that they could build up a tag team match at WrestleMania to be like a co-main event level match, like one of the 3-4 matches people want to see. I feel like if they did Usos New Day one last time type of
I
match.
think we got Usos New Day. Was it last year? Or was it the year before at a WrestleMania? And it was super like
They didn't wrestle each other.
disappointing.
They didn't wrestle each other straight up. I think it was a triple threat. It was the
Oh,
Bludgeon
is that what it
Brothers
was?
versus the Usos versus the New
Ah,
Day, and the
that's right.
Bludgeon Brothers just killed everybody.
I don't know. I just look at that New Day Usos feud as one of the, it's been a top feud that is delivered with actual wrestling over the past few years in WWE.
Yeah, man. I mean,
We got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, that Hell in a Cell match is unbelievable. That shit felt like
we were trashed, but
yeah, but I mean, it felt like watching the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express at like the Omni in the 80s, man. That shit was off the charts. They have great chemistry together.
They
and
do.
I would love for them to have a straight up tag team match on a major stage like WrestleMania.
I just miss good matches being at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Yeah, although if you look back at the history, if you look back at the history though of WrestleMania, I mean, most WrestleManias aren't that great, unfortunately. A lot of the matches that you think would be awesome.
Where it was.
Yeah, from I would say probably like 30 to what, like 33?
No, come on. You can go back further than that.
Oh, what, 29?
Don't say than that.
No way. Like WrestleMania 27, the one in Atlanta.
What's that card?
Miz versus Cena. Let's look at the card here. The matchups were Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan ends in a no contest. Is a lumberjack match for the United States Championship. It's a dark match. It lasted 4 minutes, mind you. And then the Great Khali ended up winning an impromptu battle royal by last eliminating Sheamus. And then you had Edge defeating Alberto Del Rio in the very first match in the card. Royal Rumble winner Alberto Del Rio, mind you.
Dude, that WrestleMania is dog shit.
See, I told you.
Orton and Punk was good. Taker and Triple H was good.
Cody and Ray was pretty decent. Let's talk about Big Show, Kane, Kofi, and Santino defeating the core of Wade Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel in a minute and a half.
Wow.
Disgusting. Michael Cole beating Jerry Lawler by disqualification in a singles match where Stone Cold Steve Austin was a special guest referee, a match that was designed for Jerry Lawler to beat the absolute dog fuck out of Michael Cole, and you still had Michael Cole win so you could stretch out that dumbass feud for another pay-per-view is fucking insane.
This can be an episode in itself. We should run down each WrestleMania card.
Yeah, we should definitely do that and just talk about its match quality.
Coming up, we can do that when it gets closer to WrestleMania. That'd be interesting, actually.
Yeah, that would be very interesting because, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of really bad overall WrestleManias. I mean, like I said, you had a couple matches here that were pretty solid. Cody, Punk, and Orton. Triple H Taker was solid. But then you got John Morrison, Snooki, and Trish Stratus beating Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool in 3 minutes. And then the main event, The Miz defeats John Cena.
Solely to set up Rock versus Cena the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad WrestleMania.
Yeah, look at this. Lawler originally won the match by submission, but the anonymous Raw general manager reversed the decision and awarded the win to Michael Cole by disqualification due to the interference of Steve Austin, the fucking special guest referee.
I can't believe Austin was even involved in that match.
Oh, and then the Miz John Cena match was used to set up fucking 2 years. The Rock and John Cena feuded for 3 years, by the way, if anybody forgot. It was originally a double count out, and then The Rock restarted it. Immediately, rock bottom Cena and the Miz won.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not a good WrestleMania.
Sheamus doing back-to-back fucking jobs. Oh, no, he beat Daniel Bryan, didn't he?
Well, he had beat Daniel Bryan for the U.S. Championship, but it ended in a no contest for some reason because the Lumberjacks all started fighting each other, and then somehow it turned into a battle royal, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to do that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything in closing, my man?
No, I think that's about it. Unless you
Well,
got something.
I will say, make sure to head on over to our TeePublic store. That's tee.pub/lic/podbros. Right now, according to the site, there is a 35% off sale going on site-wide. So get in on that. I don't know if you guys will all be able to see that by the time I get it uploaded, but always, always, always keep your eyes open on TeePublic. There's always a sale going on. And then the last thing I want to say before we wind this up, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. Just go to the YouTube machine, type in The Accidental Wrestling Fan, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would love to get our subscriber count up as we continue to fill this channel up with more video content. There are going to be some more short form videos that I'm going to try to upload. John, I think, is going to start uploading some of his travels to different shows, maybe some small snippets of his experiences there, and uploading them to the YouTube channel. So it's kind of a comprehensive look of how we, I guess, contribute to the world of pro wrestling.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very exciting stuff. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching or listening. Kaz, thank you as always for being the co-pilot to this rocky ride of a show that we host.
Yeah, I mean you're the main guy. I'm just the I don't know.
You're my Marty. I'm your Sean.
That's right. There you go.
And when you try to escape through the barbershop window like the coward that you are, what should you do, Kaz?
Not try to bang like my daughter.
Tuck your chin, brother.
Didn't Marty try to do that?
He it was like a quandary that he was trying to figure out. Like, this chick might be my daughter. Should I fuck her? I don't know. But
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Indeed it is.